I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Frankfurt Plant Board for November 17th, 2025. Ask Secretary to call the roll.
Member DeLong?
Here.
Member Cuban?
Here.
Member Mason?
Here.
Member Snyder?
Here.
Member Dutton Mitchell?
Here.
First item on the agenda is the consideration and approval of minutes for the October 21st regular board meeting. If anybody had a chance to look at those minutes, and does anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Approval of the October 21st minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Same thing for the minutes for the October 29th special meeting we had by Zoom. Anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections? If not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. We have a public person here to make public comments. David, I'm going to ask you to step back for just a second on the financials. Mr. Bragg, if you want to come forward. Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
First, I'd like to just say I appreciate you guys taking the time today. My name's Wayne Bragg. This is my wife, Cindy. Cindy's a professor at EKU. I'm a technology person. We've lived in the area for about 30 years. Just a small business owner from the standpoint of we took on some properties about 5 years ago, basically to support Cindy's mom, who was fighting Alzheimer's and needed some extra revenue. And so we purchased this property about 5 years ago. So you have a little background on us. We were made aware on October 9th from our property manager. We don't really deal with our properties. When we got into it, we were just kind of like, we want professionals to manage this. We just needed the income for her mom. We were made aware from our property manager that we received a $3,000+ bill for the water usage, which was 20 times our normal usage. And we were like, okay, you need to get somebody out there now. And so a property manager obviously sent their employee out right away. And he went into all the units, went around the whole property, confirmed that there was no leak at the property at the time that day, that Thursday. My wife immediately called the Frankfurt Plant Board at that point in time and said, look, we don't know what's going on here, but we don't see any water leakage. We don't see a problem. We need help. And asked, for the meter, someone to come out and read the meter or to replace the meter, do something. That was on the Thursday. No one was able to get out Thursday. On Friday, once again, she called and said, can we get somebody out there today? And they said, yeah, we'll get somebody out there, but nobody came on Friday. And then on Monday, she called a third time and said, look, we really, this is a priority. We really need somebody to come out. And on Monday, they did go out and check the meter. In the meantime, she was also given access to the electronic metering account where you can check usage. And she found out that the problem magically resolved itself Friday night at 10 o'clock at night. So there really wasn't a need for anybody to go out and check by Monday because the problem had already resolved itself. And from that point forward, that Friday night, the system has been reporting the same average daily usage that it reported for the past year, 2 years, whatever before that. So the big question for us has been, well, why did it automatically magically fix itself at a Friday night at 10 o'clock at night from the reporting system that is provided by the Frankfurt Plant Board? Like I said, my wife spent a lot of time on the phone on Thursday and Friday just kind of trying to get more details, specifically about why weren't we notified about this. Frankfurt Plant Board employees have all been very professional, very courteous, very helpful. And they've given us all the information and said, well, we called your property manager on August 21st and let them know that there was a leak. Well, we provided information from our property manager and from all of the residents outlining the fact that the property manager has no recollection or no indication we had him pull his voicemail system, and that's included in the little tab underneath here that shows the voicemails that came in for the days leading up to and after. So there was no message actually left on their system. We asked the Frankfurt Plant Board, could you give us some details about that as far as a message being left, and they provided the interaction metrics as far as the details of the call. The call was placed to our the phone number for our property manager. It was 1 minute and 16 seconds in duration. And they, Frankfurt Plant Board also said that a return call was made, I think an hour later, something in that aspect.
It was only like 0.016 of a second.
It was 0.106 of a second. So, our thing about that is that our property manager maintains they didn't receive a message. None of their employees received a message.
It took me 3 minutes to leave a message for Tanya in your service department, and it only took your employee 1 minute and 16 seconds to go through a phone system and leave a message for our plant board, for our manager. So that doesn't seem reasonable that was enough time for enough detailed message to even have been left.
We requested the transcript of that message so that we could find out, and they said that a lot of times their system does track the transcript, but in this case, there was no transcript to the message that was left. And like my wife is pointing out, in 1 minute and 16 seconds, you can barely get through our property manager's voicemail system, just to leave a message. So the reality is that there was no transfer of information done on August 21st in our beliefs, and all the data pretty much confirms that we were never notified of this issue. We didn't find out about this issue till October 9th. We're also concerned about the fact that on 9/24, because this problem had been going on for a while, the Frankfurt Plant Board sent out a meter read to read the meter because they were like,
It
apparently
was 20 times the normal.
20 times the normal usage. And so our question is, why weren't we notified then? And the response we got was, well, they have a policy of 30 days, but this was outside that 30-day window. If they said on 8/21 was the first time they contacted us, this was 9/24, so this was outside of that 30-day window. So the Frankfurt Plant Board was responsible enough to send someone out there to meet the reader, but they didn't feel like it was important enough to contact our property manager or us and let us know that there still was a problem there. Like I said, we never received a phone call from the Frankfurt Plant Board, from our perspective. So the minute we got the bill and found out that there was a problem, we sent somebody out there.
We also scheduled a leak detection company to come out but their first available was the next Wednesday. By that point, there was no leak because obviously it had fixed itself somehow on Friday night. So we were going down both lines. I called the plant board trying to get them to check the meter, and then we were also at the same time scheduling leak detection in case it was an underground leak. And so, when Wayne met on property, you could see all of the lines and flags because all of the utilities had come out and been marked so that leak detection company could come dig if they needed. But then we canceled that because it had fixed itself somehow on the Friday night, and no one can explain to us, what happened.
So like I said, we provided kind of a summary of what went on from our perspective. Sharmista was nice enough to present, the same information from your side. We did, like I said, we met out, finally got Frankfurt Plant Board to meet us out there on October 20th. And who was it? It was
Josh
met us out there
And
with another
another
technician. And so we were, there, they pulled up the meter lid and was just kind of looking at it and reviewing it with me and my property manager at the time. And, I was saying, okay, well, we had one resident there at the time, and our property manager went in and asked him to, not run the water, not do anything. And so we said, yeah, that's fine. He was okay with that, and he actually left a little bit after that, so there was no one on property. And Josh and the technician at the time were saying, well, see, the meter's still running. You've still got a leak. And we were watching, and I don't know a lot about water meters, to be honest with you. There's the numbers, and then there's a dial, and the little needle on the dial was moving every so often, a little bit. I'm like, okay, I guess it's using. But when we got back, I had Cindy pull the reporting system and say, well, how much usage was going on while we were there. And the 2 hours that we were there, the reporting system reported no usage.
Zero.
This was way after obviously the issue was resolved. This was a week and a half after and for the week and a half after that Friday night, there had been no other issues with the water system.
And there's
So-
a screenshot of
Yeah.
the usage from the system where it shows zeros. The meeting was at 2 o'clock on October 20th. And there was zero usage in the reporting system for 2 o'clock hour and the 3 o'clock hour, even though the technician was like, oh, it's moving, and they could see it kind of moving, but yet your system shows zero usage. So we don't understand that either.
So our real big anomaly here is that when we sent our technician out, he looked at every toilet, every sink, everything on property,
Outside.
there's nothing running. And your system was reporting that we were pushing 300 gallons an hour, and there was nothing running. And it can't maintain that. He was out there Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. It maintained that until that Friday at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Okay?
The next day.
So, and then we go back a week later and we're being told, well, it's still using water, it's still leaking. And I go, well, your reporting system is showing that it's not. So there's two big inconsistencies there from a standpoint of this meter. And we have asked multiple times for this meter to be pulled, and we've never gotten that's never happened.
wouldn't
Because
know what it
from our perspective, my background is if I've got an data inconsistency, I need to get to the root cause of what the problem is. We understand there's a third party, that this is outsourced to a third party. I'm one of those third party outsourcers that I do on manufacturing side, so I do ERP systems. But we really feel like that there's been a problem at this third party IT technology company, that there's been a data inconsistency. We try to give you guys as much information as we can from a standpoint of so you see all the data usage. I've highlighted the two, like I said, when our guy went out there and it was still pumping 300. I mean, you'll see that there was 7 weeks where the reporting system that you have says that for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 7 weeks, we pumped an average of 300 gallons. Per hour through that system. And there's a few little blurbs here or there that it might go down to 200, but on average it was pumping 300. I mean, if you do the numbers, we were filling up on those 7 weeks, we were filling up basically 2 swimming pools, an average backyard swimming pool, 2 swimming pools, a week there for those 7 weeks.
I went into AI and also tried to figure out, well, how much water usage is that? What would have to be running to generate that much water? And consistently, every AI source I used said it had to be 3 to 4 faucet showers or something like that, running full force, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 7 weeks, which isn't feasible. I mean, we have tenant statements that they said they have no abnormal water usage. Our property manager's employee was there and there was nothing on, nothing running. No, he couldn't even hear a trickle of a toilet.
So like I said, we wanted you guys to have statements from our residents and from our property manager. Obviously, we're hardly ever here, so we don't know what goes on at the property. We trust them to manage the properties, but we wanted you to have it from actual residents that are there 24/7 and from our property manager, so that you know that And so everybody has stated to us multiple times that the policy is that if we would provide Frankfurt Plant Board with a repair bill, that they would work with us to lower it. And while I would love to provide Frankfurt Plant Board a repair bill and say that we fixed something, we know what the root cause is, this won't happen again. I mean, anybody who's a property manager knows you don't want a water leak at your property. For your investment, it's the worst thing that you can have. So, I mean, whenever we hear that there's any type of water leak, we have a plumber, we have a sewage company, we have whoever we need there on site that day to get it fixed, because this is an investment for us and this is our retirement, to be honest with you. So we take it seriously. And so, my property manager will come. He's already provided you he couldn't be here tonight, but provided you a signed copy of the fact that there was no repair done. We haven't, same thing from our residents. There was no repair done at the property. We desperately want to know the root cause of this, because we obviously don't want it to happen again. We desperately want to be notified when something like this happens the very day or the next day, so that we can get someone out there to fix this issue immediately. None of us want this. I don't want to be here tonight. I don't want to be wasting your time, but we don't know what course we can take at this point. All we've been told is that we have to provide a bill, and from an integrity standpoint, I'm not going to say that we fixed something when we didn't. So we're really hoping, from my perspective, I want a root cause so that this doesn't happen for another customer.
Right.
I really do. None of us want this to happen. It's been a lot of stress on us for the past 6-7 weeks trying to figure this out. We would have been here in October, but when we met with Sean that day in October, Josh, sorry. When we went with Josh that day in October, he said, let's just try to resolve this internally. And I said, well, and so I thought that we were going to get it resolved internally, or I would have been here in October. But we weren't given.
I think we found out about it the meeting the day before it was the meeting.
Yeah, right. but the day after, it was a couple of days later, we were told that the policy is the policy, and that's the only thing we can do. And I understand that, but I would have been here in October because we've been forced to continue to pay, and while the employees have worked with us, we're still having to pay 3 to 4 times what we normally pay just to keep our residents' water on. And we don't want their water shut off. We're going to do what we have to do to keep their water on.
Because like the PSC, they afford you the fact that you can't have a disconnection during a billing dispute. And so I expected that from you all, and that also wasn't the case. I was told, no, it would be cut off November 4th if I didn't sign this billing agreement. So we're on 18 months of paying 3 to 4 times our normal water bill.
Do any of the members have any questions for Mr. Bragg?
I don't have any questions, but one, I want to thank you all for coming and providing all the information. It sounds like there's a couple issues. One's the notification issue, and if we only have a certain phone number on file and all that. Second issue is there a problem in our system? We don't know. It sounds like a mystery. Why all of a sudden, did this high usage stop when you don't have an explanation? So, I just want to know from staff, what their investigation has turned up to explain that issue.
And I just want to. Sorry, I was trying to absorb everything really fast.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. It's a lot of information.
It is.
This is kind of a dumb question. It's just clarifying. You have 1 meter for all 4 units.
Yes.
We do, yes.
How
We've
do you-
always,
That's just the way the building was when we bought
Yeah.
it.
I
And it's
understand.
we were told it was very expensive to
Yeah.
break it out. And then also the other thing is that at that rent level, a lot of the tenants expect the water to be included. So, I mean, we're trying to make our, 4 apartments very affordable
Yeah.
for Franklin County residents. My dad lived in Franklin County and Frankfort City for 30 years. I mean, I know we're in Richmond now, we were in Lexington before, but, we do have ties to the Frankfort community. We want, to provide affordable housing, and, we do what we can for our tenants, but, we also, there's been years we've only made a couple $1,000s on that single building,
Yeah, I understand.
especially during COVID.
It's
so-
obviously older, and we've had to spend a lot of money on repairs, and we do that is whenever people moves out, we completely gut it and
But we
redo
still try to
it.
keep
But
the
we're-
rent affordable.
But yeah,
So-
so,
Okay. Sure, Mr.
yeah.
There we go. Okay, so this is, one of the situations where, if we found something wrong on our end, we would absolutely be thrilled for you, because we like to obviously adjust your bill as necessary. But based on, I know you had your meter tested, that was, a lot of times that's a workload issue. They'd like to go out there same day and test meters, but they were able to get out there as soon as possible. And so we reviewed the last software update for the AMI software, and as what we shared with you, that was performed in October of 2023, along that you also have a new meter that was installed in October 2023, and typically we see a 10-year or longer useful life on meters. So on our end, we weren't able to find an actual issue with the meter or the software and so forth. So according to the tariff, because we couldn't find anything, we couldn't provide that credit in that respect. So
May I ask a question?
Mhm.
So, I mean, there should be, I teach computer science.
Yeah, sure.
We're both technology.
Mhm.
So there should be security updates at least monthly on that system. I mean, and there's sometimes minor functionality updates in between on any system anywhere. So I can't believe they would go 2 years without any type of update.
Yeah,
I'm not
Because-
sure they're giving you the correct information.
Because there's a physical meter, which obviously, I had asked about the BIOS updates on the physical meter because
And that might be true.
because it appears that this is, so far what we've been communicated to was that we're the only person, this is the only meter that's had this problem. So that immediately went to my thinking of, well, it's a meter, it's a BIOS upgrade, which is the hardware software on the actual meter. But there's also an entire system that this third party runs. I do Oracle ERP systems. I did Kentucky Utilities credit and collection systems and metering systems for many years. There's also a back-end system and database that tracks all of this data. And I know that there's times when I've had developers that actually went out and accidentally updated production data in a production database thinking that they were on a development system. And in fact, they were on production and caused a billing issue for a client that we had to go back and fix. So there's also a back-end system that this third party is hosting, and I would highly suggest somebody investigate the data for this meter and related to this, incident, because when you look at 7 weeks of 24/7, 300 gallons, it just doesn't pass any kind of, and in fact, multiple employees, when I've pinned them down on this, even on October 20th, or when we met with Josh and the engineer that came out that day, I was like, can you explain this? And they're like, no, we can't really explain this. And like I said, we've been told that the policy is what it is from a standpoint of, we've heard that from multiple people, is that the only resolution, the only due process that we have is if we provide a bill and we haven't fixed anything. We don't have a bill to provide. And like I said, we would be more than happy to provide that and go on, and admit that obviously it was something on our side. I mean, we do that all the time. We spent $40,000 replacing the sewage part of one of our properties 2 years ago because the sewage pipe collapsed underneath, and these are slabs, so we had to jackhammer the whole thing and
Moved
put.
all 4 tenants
We
out.
had to put all 4 tenants in the hotel, and we had to, completely put all new plumbing and new kitchen, new bathrooms, everything in one of our properties. So
It was Stedman Town, actually.
that was this one. So
So it's got all new sewage.
And most,
All the
most,
units are redone
yeah,
completely.
yeah.
Does the
Ms.
staff
Chairman,
think,
yeah.
need any more information from them? Like, I don't know what more information we could get from them, but do you all need any more information in order to figure this out?
No, that's why it came before the board, because we've done the research, we validated the data, and I understand, you know, IT, typically there are updates a lot more often, but in this case, for this particular with water meters, it's, the way it's been explained to me, it's different. It's, they don't typically do those on-air updates. And Travis, I don't mean to pull you into that sheet.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine. You're right. The software version does go through routine updates whenever there's an upgrade or security patch or what have you. In this instance, I think we're referring to the firmware on the smart point. So you have the meter itself and then the comm module. When we go back to October 2023, that's what we're referring to. Those have not changed. And you know, you mentioned it was communicated to you that we're not aware of any other issues that would be of a similar nature. I think that's kind of what we're referring to. That I think if it were a software-wide issue, we would perhaps be aware.
But you would admit that there's always a possibility that someone goes in and changes the data. I mean, I'm sorry, I work for a security firm now where we provide cybersecurity and protection for all of our clients. And the reality is that there's always hackers out there that try to get into a system. I can't see any reason why they would want to target us. But
Or even know who owns that
yeah,
property.
but like I said, I've even had developers that have gone out and innocently, as much as it was from a standpoint of just doing development testing in a non-prod system, thinking they weren't impacting production, and they did accidentally run a data script, updating data in the production environment. I don't know the whole back end, like I said,
Well, and I think we've all addressed the physical issues. You guys have looked at the physical meter. We've physically looked at everything we can in the property. I mean, there's I don't know what the explanation is, but the fact that it was at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, when he has to do maintenance on his systems, it's always at 10 or 11 o'clock on a Friday or Saturday night, because that's when users aren't on the system. So when we start thinking about just trying to think outside the box, what could this possibly be? The software is the only thing that we can come up with that no one has physically tested in a way that you did, like with the meter firmware or the meter, or that we searched everywhere for a leak. I mean, we thought about having a leak detection company continue to come out, but once the water usage went back to normal, why spend that money? We're into you guys for $6,500. I mean,
Well,
like I
Mr.
said,
Chairman,
that's my whole year's profit
Yes.
for the building.
I guess we can continue discussing this issue very technically. We could find a third-party expert to go dive in, do more, if we need to. But so far, as you know, we don't have the information. We don't have anything can support what you claim yet. Okay, that's just from our perspective. Not I disagreeable. I'm just saying that's so far what we have.
yeah. And
We could study more.
Sure.
And on the second part, you asked a question, how do we notify customer, right? We done quite a bit improved since then, before you case. Yes.
Sure.
Every customer, we have their email address, we have a permission use their cell phone. We have a no delay. We send all their currently water issue. It's a lot more than what you think.
Yeah.
What happen is the customer own the system behind the meter. They truly have a water leak problem. That's the majority so far, 99% we find it.
Yeah.
So we try to notify customer no delay. For the customer with no email address, we don't have a permission use their cell phone. There's no way we can reach them except we try to call them. It's not a requirement we have to do that. It's from our purpose to really hope solve the problem. What we since have that is we want to try to reach as many customer as possibly to get their email and their cell number. Then they can find in the first time. That's the majority case. I'm not saying that's the case for you.
Right.
I'm just saying 99% case, we have a 2 water leakage problem, created huge water bill. We want to go early as possible. Okay, on our record, at least so, you might disagree. We try to call you. We also got a return call from you. You might disagree, that's the
I
part
would
that
disagree.
depends on you and your management company,
Yeah.
we don't know that.
Yeah.
The third part I do want to say is,
Mm-hmm.
there's a possibility water leak happen between inside the building. The water go to the sewer directly. There's a possibility. I'm not saying
how many
happen in your
devices?
case.
So tell me how
That's
many.
that's a pretty much the majority we find out is what happened.
I agree with you.
Okay.
But how many
So that's
devices would
what,
have to run for 300 gallons an hour, okay, for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for
We could study more.
7 weeks?
But that's
I think,
probably from
Gary, I
the,
think
yes.
what I'd like to do, I think Steve, did you have a question? or
Well,
comment?
it was kind of along the question that Gary is intimated to is just a visual question. That kind of water running, did you see any, is it wet or was it?
No,
Nothing.
he walked the whole property the day and it was running 300 gallons per hour. And then your personnel was there a week later and, they could testify that there was no digging. We didn't do any digging to repair. Plus the tenants verify that no one was repairing anything at 10 p.m. at night. I mean, it's a mystery to us too. I mean, I'm not saying it is. We're just trying to point out the one area where we felt like it possibly could be, but because we've tested so many other things, and we're just here trying to be honest.
I mean, the volume that you're looking at. I mean, guys, let's face it. If this was a $300 bill, we'd have paid it, and we wouldn't have wasted your time or our time. Okay? We're not here because we want to be. We're here because we don't have a choice.
Understand.
Nobody has given us a choice. We're here because we have to be here. We have to fight for our tenants, and we have to fight for our livelihood
Right.
from a standpoint of we can't take a $6,500 water bill.
Right.
I mean, it's worth us doing whatever we have to do.
From that perspective, thank you again, like Catherine said, for this information. It's very edifying in a lot of ways. It raises a few questions that are still a little unsettled in my mind. What we would like to do is like to test your indulgence for another month if we can take this information as a board and go back and review it and see what we can come up with and get back with you. We do appreciate you coming here tonight, and we do appreciate the information that you sent to us.
The only thing I'd like to point out is that, like I said, we would have been here in October
I
had
understand.
employees not told us that they were going to resolve it or help us resolve it.
understand.
And we're financially having to pay 3 to 4 times what our normal bill would be just to keep the water on for our residents. So any delay is costing
Well, we
us.
thought we could go to the PSC.
I understand.
And then we found out you all aren't governed by the PSC.
Yeah.
Because the PSC affords you to not have
Right.
any water, cut off while you're debating a bill.
While you're disputing your bill, yeah. So,
Well, we will take that under, we will get back with you, and we will look at it with haste, and as soon as we can, we'll get back with you on it, okay?
okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
your
for
time.
your time.
Next item on the agenda is acceptance of the financials. Mr. Denton.
Yes. Good evening, Board. Got your financials here as of October 31st, 2025. We have in your board packet on pages 23 through 109 those reports, that regular ones we provide each month. Quickly, I'd like to just give a brief summary on performance for October. Looking at page 23, our statement of net position. This is what you might also call a balance sheet if you were a for-profit. Looking there on line 75, total assets of approximately $245 million as of the end of the month. You can see that's up 3.3 million or 1.4%. Two things worth looking at, we've talked about this multiple months, is cash and investments down 3.7 million. Reason for that, we are investing heavily in infrastructure. Just these first 4 months of the year, we've invested $6.9 million. So plowing money into investments to be able to continue and upgrade our property, plant, and equipment. And also, we are delaying draws on the next band note, so some of that is going towards next band as well. The others looking here, total liabilities, line 155 is approximately $94 million. You can see that's down 7.7 million or 7.6% primarily due to the booking of our June 30th KPPA unfunded liability and OPEB liability. That's the main driver of that decrease. You take your assets minus liabilities, gives us your net position of approximately $152 million. That's up 11 million or 7.9, and your liabilities and net position, I do agree. So that's the quick summary of the balance sheet. I'd like to turn over quickly to page 28. Page 28 is the statement of revenues, expense, and change to the net position for the first 4 months. Kind of tracks our performance for the first 4 months compared to the same period a year ago. If you look at the column 3 and 4, that's your actual versus your budget. You can see that we're doing better than expected budget-wise revenue and under keeping our expenses below budget. So that's given us a bottom line better through the first 4 months. That's a good thing. Looking at columns 3 versus 7, that's your year-over-year changes. We were right in line with operating revenue, essentially flat. Our total expenses are up 3.5%, so we do have a little bit of a lower net position change than we did a year ago, but I believe, I still think we're going to be all right. So that's really a quick summary of where we are. I'd be glad to give you any more in-depth answers on any questions you may have.
And we spoke briefly at the planning meeting. With the government shutdown being over, we will probably have the audit by January. We might have it by December. Is that what the timeline is?
Yes, sir. We do have a draft. There's been a few more data requests, but I'm probably guess around January that we would have it to you all. It's pretty much the audit itself is close to being finished, and it's that single audit that we'd be waiting on. So.
Good, great. Thank you. Appreciate it, David.
Yes, sir.
With anyone else have any questions? All right, then I'll take a motion to accept the financials.
So move.
Second.
Motion second to accept the financials. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, David. Moving on to informational item, departmental reports, public information. Or Gary, start with you and.
Sure, yeah, Gary, if you
Travis,
don't
you
mind,
gonna
I'll
take
take
it?
over for you.
Okay.
I think, looks like Kathy's gonna kick us off with public information.
Okay.
Hello. First of all, I just want to start out by thanking everybody who worked at the Candlelight last Thursday night. It was great. It was packed. It really was a team effort. I'm gonna pick out Leanne Phillips and her group came out and they brought stuff, set up, stayed the whole time. We had somebody from HR there. We had someone from the electric department there with the light board. We had someone from customer service there helping at the table. And then, of course, all of our Cable 10 guys covering the tree lighting on Thursday night. Like I said, it was a great event, so I want to thank everybody who helped out with that. That's one of the favorites that people look forward to seeing us there because they all get a light bulb. And they look forward to it every year now. So. We are entering the season of giving, so we're starting to focus on just some ways in particular that we can help the community and that other people can help in their community. So we're going to be promoting our Power Certificate. This is a program that we started several years ago. Basically, it's like a FPB gift card, except it acts more like credit. You can check it out at fpb.cc/power. And if you want to give the gift of power to someone who is in need, there is a link at the website that I gave that's a form that you fill out. You can designate a certain amount and it will automatically credit whoever the recipient is. You can opt to have a certificate sent directly to the person that you're gifting, or we can send it to you and you can give that as a gift, the certificate itself. So again, that's the Power Certificate. Just want to remind people that's available year-round, but this is the time of year that we really promote it, because we just have a lot of people in need, and You know, or there's just some people who, you know, you can't think of what else to get them, and it's a great gift. So we're also participating in a food drive. We're partnering with the Emergency Food Pantry for their Cram the Cruiser. So we're going to be setting up drop-off bins in all of our offices. We'll be promoting that to our employees and to our customers. And then they have a culminating event the first weekend in December. They'll be at both Kroger stores taking food as well. They're going to come pick up everything that we donate. Then we'll be working, I think, on December 5th at the Kroger East, and we'll be doing a Cable 10 segment on it. And again, just to promote the importance of our emergency food pantry here in Franklin County. We do have our next kind of a community event is we'll be covering the Christmas parade, which is on December 6th. And it'll be here before you know it. So this year it is all downtown. It won't go up around the Capitol, obviously, because of the renovations that are happening there. So we'll be have our trucks in that parade, but also Cable 10 will be hosting that along with Froggy Radio. Cable 10 has been busy this last month. In October, they covered the soccer district tournament, the volleyball district tournament, Friday night's football game of the week, all of our Around 10 episodes, government meetings. In November, they've covered the Miss Franklin County pageant, rounds 1 and 2 of the high school football playoffs, obviously candlelight. This week, they're covering the Miss Western Hills pageant and round 3 of the high school football playoffs. And if county wins, we'll be covering round 4 of those playoffs, which is going to be on Black Friday. And our Cable 10 crew will be there to cover it, and we'll have it live on Cable 10. That's all.
Great. Any questions? Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, next up we'll have Darren do the knock report and safety report.
Hey, good evening.
Evening, Darren.
For October, it looks like the Network Operations Center entered 611 trouble calls, handled 4,441 phone calls, and on the locate side of the house, it's 728 locates. So a little uptick, but lots of construction and projects going on around town. That's definitely not out of the ordinary. And for locates, that's 2,860 since July the 1st that we've completed. Switching over to the safety. In October, we had one minor workplace injury, one minor vehicle accident. No damage to any of our vehicles. A person sideswiped one of our parked vehicles and maybe damaged their mirror, nothing to our vehicle. 2 damage investigations. We conducted 32 safety trainings and then did company-wide ladder testing. Also, from the safety department, I would like to present once again, I think this is probably our 13th year. This is our KEMI, the Kentucky Employers Mutual Insurance Destiny Award for workplace safety. So I know you've seen these before, so we just received this. Actually, I received it today.
Right.
So we'll place this. I believe it goes in the general manager's conference room.
Sounds good.
So again, our excellent safety folks have once again done a good job, and maybe hope to bring another one this time next year.
Thanks, Darren.
And my report,
you know,
that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
You know, as we've talked time and time again, no matter who's been in that spot, you know, safety's not just the one person or not just a director. I think we've taken it. It's pretty obvious we take it pretty seriously as a company, and it really is everybody, every lineman, every water department person, every cable person, everybody out in the field. It's a big thing.
It's
So
very much a culture here, and that's the way we want it. But it's, you know, a lot of dangerous stuff happens here too. So,
any questions for Darren? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren. April for customer service.
Good evening. You can find the customer service reports on page 113 to 117. There on page 113, you'll have the customer service overview that shows all of the customer interactions we had for October. We assisted about 8,100 customers in the month of October. 1,500 of those were through our drive-through, and then 1,500 were walk-ins. About 1,000 of those were customer service inquiries, and about 500 were billing inquiries, and then about 5,100 phone calls. The wait time, it is continuing to trend downward. We are fully staffed. We have a CSR that's currently starting to work independently, but her trainer's still there with her. So we're not yet what we consider full staff, but once she starts working independently without that trainer, we will be closer to that, and so we should see those wait times continue to go down. The kiosk transactions were at about 650, so we continue to see that increase. Of course, some of those transactions don't necessarily keep a CSR from having to assist those, because some of them are customers who come in paying deposits that want to pay with a credit card, and so we do send those to the kiosk. But most of those are just strictly kiosk. They don't actually have to see a CSR. And then as far as our Google reviews, we continue to see positive feedback from our customers every month via Google. We had 15, I think they were all 5-star. There might have been 1 4-star, and then we had 1 negative Google review, which has our Google rating at 3.4 stars, which I'm pretty proud of. We're hoping in the next couple of months we can bump that up to 3.5, but with nearly 800 reviews, it takes a lot more reviews to even get that 1 little decimal point moving. And then just as a plug for the portal notifications back from the conversation that we had with the customers who were here, just remind customers to go in and if you're not a portal customer, to sign up for the portal. We are proactively sending out notifications if they have continuous usage with water, as well as if they have an electric outage. We can notify you right away, and you don't have to call and notify us. All that information's there. What we have found, though, is we have about 17,000 portal customers. All of those customers do receive an outgoing email if they have an electric outage or if they have continuous usage. That's just automatically set up in their preferences. However, they can also receive a text message or a phone call. And only about 900 customers actually have a secondary method set up. So if you don't have a secondary method set up, I know for me personally, my personal email, I've had it for 30 years. I get a lot of junk mail. I don't really look at my email. I do look at my text. So for me, my personal preference would be to set up text, but they can set it up however they want. Of course, we do have some customers who are set up to get the email. However, we're set up to be spam. So it's very important to go and set up those notifications through our portal, but also download our app. We also send push notifications out for those same issues. So just kind of my shameless plug to, as we move into the winter time, outages as far as if there's an ice storm or if the ground's frozen and you could have an issue with your water. It's just really important to
and I will testify to the fact that I have signed up for text message, and I got a text message. We had an electric outage back in the first part of October when I was sitting in Madison, Wisconsin, at a meeting, at a training session. So it does work, and it is much more, like I said, rather than the 600 emails I get every day. That is a great way to do it. It does work, and I would encourage everybody to do that. Anybody else have any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a clarify question. So in case currently customer, we don't have their email, we don't have their participation for the text message, if we do find out there's a water leakage or some other things, we do call them, right?
Correct. And then recently we've also added, if by some chance we get their voicemail and we don't actually speak to a customer, we're actually sending them a letter as well.
We will send a letter following
And that's just something, yes, that's something that we've just
I just want to
recently.
clarify that.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
We try to contact anybody we can, definitely.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, Adam is out this evening, so Shane Halt's going to do the telecom report. Shane.
Good evening, everyone. According to the customer metrics on page 119, we've surpassed the 8,000 customer mark as for customers converted to the next band fiber network. We look to keep steady progress on that migration effort. As far as outages go, we had 2 reported in October. One of them was Node 1, which is around Thistlewood and Cross Hill. There's a failed wiring harness and a power supply assembly. and that was replaced and back online. The other one was the Duncan Road area, node 24, and it was a blown trunk amplifier fuse and quickly corrected. Both the outages were isolated and resolved pretty quickly. Trouble calls remain below the historical average, and most of them still coming in as customer education. As far as next band construction, for the areas that we are currently overbuilding, we've reached nearly all complete on that, with the exception of an area out Schweitzer Road, which it's in final testing. So that means every place we've had coax service should be available for next band.
Next band, right.
As for the grant, the build out for the grants, you got construction and splicing completed in Area 5, which was Harvey Land, Area 3, Lucas Lane, Area 6, Hickory Ridge, and all we like there is a few small underground sections. So once that's completed, then we'll go into the testing and verification phase, and then it'll be ready for activation. Let's see here, what else we have. Area 2, currently 14 easements still outstanding and 29 declines. And we still continue to work through the redesigns to accommodate those constraints.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Gary?
sorry, I see another thing.
Sure.
For the 8,000, I just want to clarify, is not only we've been connected fiber to outside home, every house, for quite a while. The 8,000 means we are in contact customer, get their permission, get their home, connect the fiber to their, ask them to select a new plan, join the plan. It is quite a bit of effort to take over. I mean, it's halfway.
Right.
So hopefully one day we can clear all that. Sorry, I know you're busy, but I just want to say.
It's a big milestone, and we're creeping up on that. And, I remember when that number was 200, 300, 400, and, you never know when you get to 1,000, and now we're sitting here almost 50%. And I do agree, and there's a lot of effort that goes into it. But as someone who got this a while back, it is just night and day. And I would encourage anybody who's still on coax and existing coax customer, it's affordable, and any little bit more you pay is far worth it in reliability and speed of service. It's not even close. So, anyone have any questions? Okay, thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. And Scott Hudson to do the electric department report.
Where's my SADie number?
I was going to say, I believe you all know that currently APPA, the program that uses to do our numbers, they are upgrading their system, so they're still collecting data right now to get us our numbers back. So we should be up and running by next month.
Good.
As far as this past month, yes, there's just typical outages. There wasn't really anything out of the sorts, about a crazy or out of a larger outage. So we kind of, that's kind of, I would call it standard month, but we did have outages. So, but if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah. Sounds good.
SADie numbers next month.
We will have them. All right, thank you, Scott. For SEPA bill for September, 86,534. Our net payment for SEPA, $161,500 for a profit to the board of $74,965. I forgot to mention that's on page 123 of your board package, which brings the net benefit to the board through September of $1,481,524. And on the AMI numbers, we're at 21,751 for electric installs. That's 98.5%. 15,406 for water. That's 90%. So we are getting very close on both fronts. Happy to answer any questions, SEPA or AMI.
Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For KYMEA, I really don't have anything new to report. We did have a regular meeting monthly, but if you do have a question, I'm happy to answer.
No. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, Bruce, for the water distribution.
Good evening, everybody. Shown on page 127, in October we had 9 new water services installed. Page 128 represents we had 3 water main breaks, And page 129 represents we had 2 outages in order to properly fix the water main breaks. A couple extra pieces of information just going on out in the field. Last week was a big week for us. 421 Midway project, we got all the pipe tied in together. So we have started disinfection process, has actually started some today, and we'll be moving forward over the next few days. For the last 2 Fridays out Vandalay Drive, we had to do 2 tie-in points out there. So last 2 Fridays, the crew went in 6 o'clock, went ahead and got that knocked out before the other contractors got there. We got, kind of busy in that area. So the roundabout on Vandalay Drive, which is closest to Kroger, that project is also complete. So we got 2 big projects completed last week. And then, of course, we had 3 after-hour main breaks. So last week was a pretty busy week for the crew, but had a lot of positivity done and projects knocked out. So we're trending towards other projects.
If you could only get those main breaks to schedule themselves between 9 and 5,
actually schedule them after hours.
Right.
It did not bother the work during the day.
There
with
you
having
go.
to pull a crew from a job and all that. So, and the guys got some overtime, so everyone's pretty happy on that. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of us. What's going on with us? I'd be glad to answer any questions if there are any.
But there's still more work to be done on the actual paddocks at that development, correct?
So the roundabout I'm referring to is the one closest to Kroger.
Oh, okay, it's not,
There is a roundabout in the paddocks property, kind of with separating landings and paddocks.
Okay.
But we do have quite a bit of work over there.
Okay.
We're still moving forward, have a crew over there every day. When possible, we have 2 crews over there. So
Okay.
they're definitely chugging away on that part of the project as well.
Any questions? Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bruce. And Brandon for the water treatment plant report.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of October, the water treatment plant treated 265,759,000 gallons of water for a daily average of 8.57 million gallons a day. Lock 4 averaged 1,338 cubic feet per second for an average of 864 million gallons. And there was 7 inches of rain recorded this month. So, happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Chairman, that concludes the departmental reports.
All right. On the action items, item 5.1, consider renewing agreement with Integrated Service Solutions, LLC for contract cleaning at the administration building. Leanne?
Good evening.
Lee.
Staff recommends renewing the contract for the cleaning services at the administration building. This past year was the first year that we had contracted cleaning. It went pretty smoothly and we've been satisfied with their performance. And they're offering an additional 12 months with no cost increase.
Okay, great. Any questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move we award the contract to Integrated Service Solutions, LLC.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Stay up there, Leanne, because we're going to consider awarding RFP 2025-4 for the service center expansion to Jackson Construction and General Contracting in the amount of $395,000.
The service center currently serves as the primary location for electric, water, and support services staff. It also serves as the warehouse and equipment maintenance for all of the plant board's operations. Throughout the years, we've added staff and have piecemealed office spaces. Also, there's no available office space for open positions that we've not yet filled. An RFP was drafted for office space expansion that includes 8 offices and 1 restroom. The request was sent to 4 contractors and we received 2 responses. And we reviewed both proposals and recommend awarding to Jackson Construction and General Contracting for $395,000. I'd also like to note that the other response that we received was for $457,000. Jackson Construction has extensive experience in commercial construction projects, and the references are all favorable. And the contractor will have 20 weeks from award notice to complete the construction. There's $767,000 in the current budget for this project, so the remaining funds would cover other projects for the service center such as landscaping, parking improvements, and covered storage in the back lot.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I think just to point out, project's been, what, 2 budget years in the making?
For the most part, yeah.
We started out in the previous fiscal year, and we hit some other issues and we delayed it. And then, I think, Travis, we brought on an engineering, was it HMB or?
GRW did a
GRW,
study
yeah,
for us,
and
yeah.
they did a number of options. And then this is kind of the design that we looked at in the budget and adopted to make use of our current space, which was the least, and we looked at other properties in town that perhaps we could have, we looked at a number of options to get down to this point. And this is a little more than what we had a year ago in the budget, but this addresses a lot of the issues, bathrooms, some things, charging areas for electric vehicles. This is kind of the culmination of about a year and a half worth of review, design, looking at other options. We looked at a number of properties here in town to see if it made sense to move Myrtle. This is clearly to give us additional years there. This is I guess, I don't want to call it the cheapest, but the most affordable option.
Yeah. Cost effective, that's the more.
Yeah.
Cheap, that's
Cheap.
negative.
Yeah, cheap's more of a slang term. Affordable.
Yeah, and we have worked on this a lot and bandied about a lot of ideas, and it really does. I think it gets at what we need to do and gives our employees a decent place to work. So that's the important thing. Anyone else have any questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to award the RFP 25-4.
So moved.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And good work on the RFP, getting it done and bringing it in at this price.
Item 5.3, consider award of bid invitation 1834, pad mount transformers to Deco Supply, United Utility Supply, in the amount of $90,445. Tricia?
Good evening, how are you all?
Just good.
We prepared a bid invitation for 5 300 kVA pad mount transformers. They are kept in the FPB's inventory and need to be replenished periodically. Orders for transformers depends on new development and the replacement of bad or damaged ones. The bid invitation was sent to 6 vendors and 3 responses were received. After evaluating all bids, staff recommends awarding to Deco Supply, which they're also known as United Utility Supply, the amount of $90,445, that they were the lowest bid that met our specifications.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions? Now I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you.
Item 5.4, consider approval of agreement on territory adjustment. Travis, you're giving it away, huh?
Well, yeah, in this case, yes, we are.
In this one very, very limited instance.
That's right, yes. In this case, we are giving away a little chunk of our territory, which typically we would not want to do. This just happened to be an instance where it made sense for all parties involved. So we had a customer request for a new service. Staff member met the customer on site, started reviewing options. This is at the very kind of tail end of the electric service area. To extend service to the customer would have been quite costly and pretty technically complicated because where we border another utility at this location, in this case Bluegrass Energy, they have an existing overhead line kind of adjacent to the property, so we would have had to cross another utility to extend to them, which is not necessarily that it can't be done, but it's not really practical. You've got 2 electric utilities on the same pole, which is kind of a safety concern, or we would have had to go underground, go underneath their line, pop back up and serve the customer. So again, for all parties involved, we talked to the customer, we talked to Bluegrass Energy, we asked if they would be able to serve the customer in that location, which of course, they have the facilities there to do so they obliged. We understand, Hans, correct me if I'm wrong here, because we're not PSC regulated, this transfer does not have to be approved by the PSC. It's just an agreement between the board and Bluegrass Energy in this case.
Good. And like I said, this is just for a single home, right, off South?
Yes,
off
this will be
North
again, it's kind of like at the
The
corner of our
tail end.
system. I don't suspect it would impact any other customers other than
Okay.
the one in question here.
Single property,
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be more homes.
it could
Yeah.
be more than one service point, correct? Yeah, it could be a house and a garage.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Any other questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the agreement of territory adjustment in item 5.4.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's adopted. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Item number 5.5, consider stop-loss coverage and plan changes for the 2025 employee health plan. Michelle?
Good afternoon or good evening,
Good
board
evening,
members
yeah.
and chair. Staff recommends that the board consider approving the renewal of stop-loss coverage with Pan American for the 2026 Frankfurt Plant 4 Employee Health Plan. Our consultant, Cheryl Morgan, explored competitive pricing and received proposals from 2 additional stop-loss carriers. That information is located in the detail on page 141. Detail page is on page 141. Pan American provided the most favorable overall option for stop-loss coverage, especially when adding an additional liability corridor is considered. This helps lower our premium costs. Cheryl Morgan suggests accepting the additional liability of $100,000 aggregated specific deductible. This means that one or more health plan members must reach the aggregated specific deductible before the carrier will reimburse claims that exceed the individual specific deductibles of $125,000. The estimated expenses for the calendar year 2026, based on the renewal with Pan American and the new third-party administrator, Point C, our total fixed cost is estimated to be $449,599, and the maximum liability is estimated to be $3.2 million. These figures do not include our organ transplant fees as of now because we're waiting for it to be transferred over to the new third-party administrator. Also, the board previously approved our new TPA, Point C, and we will also have a new network, which will be Anthem. Attaining Anthem as the health plan's new network incurs a discount share fee. This is a new cost to our plan that we didn't incur under the previous network providers. This 2% fee was already factored into Point C's and Anthem's cost saving, which projects an estimated savings of approximately $520,000 from switching from the Cigna network.
Okay.
In addition, for our 2026 plan year, there will be a change in our wellness program. We do require that members obtain 5 tests, but for the 2026 plan year, we're just asking members to complete their annual wellness exams to be compliant with the wellness program, and also to receive a discount in their contributions. The employee payroll contributions for medical, dental, and vision, there's no recommendation to change for the 2026 plan year. So staff asked the board to approve renewal with Pan American as our stop-loss carrier for the 2026 health plan year. Any questions?
Any questions? If not, I accept a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the stop-loss coverage and plan changes for the 2026 employee health plan. Any discussion? Yeah, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Michelle. You got one more. Consider approving Kentucky health plan mandates and recommendations.
Yes. So staff and Cheryl Morgan recommend that the Frankfurt Plant Board consider approving the following updates to our health plan for the 2026 plan year. The first one is a Kentucky mandate, which is the biomarker testing coverage. So to ensure compliance with state law, staff recommends adding coverage for biomarker testing. Biomarker testing involves the analysis of patients' tissue, blood, and other specimens, including single analyte tests. Also, coverage is required when the testing is supported by medical and scientific evidence. Biomarker testing that meets criteria will be covered as medically necessary genetic testing, consistent with our current plan design. Members must still meet medical necessity criteria for coverage. So since our plan currently covers genetic testing, this addition is expected to have a minimal cost or impact. In addition, we have 3 non-Kentucky mandated that is recommended by staff, which is speech therapy. We would like to add coverage for speech therapy related to developmental delays. Pain management, we would like to add coverage for injections limited to 3 injections per site with a rolling 12-month. And then dental implants. We would like to add coverage for dental implants with subject to a $2,000 annual maximum and a $5,000 lifetime maximum. Our third-party administrator and our consultant reviewed comparable health plans and found that most of these were already being covered by those plans. Staff recommends that the board consider approving the above changes, biomarker testing, which is mandated, the recommended additional changes for speech therapy, pain management, and dental implants with an effective date of 1/1/2026.
Any questions? Yes, John.
Is there a projected fiscal impact of making the non-mandatory changes?
No, that's why we put the maximum. So for the dental, because implants can be very costly, but the others, it didn't seem that it would have a costly impact, but the dental implants did, and that's why we added the maximum to that.
Good job. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item, consider approval of change order number 1 with Fire Systems Engineering for the ARC FM Fiber Manager 11 implementation. Mike?
Good evening.
Mike.
Staff recommends the approval of change order with PSC in the amount of $35,000. Covers telecoms data migration of the Fiber Manager 11 GIS project. Project began in December of '24, with PSC being awarded the initial contract for $64,500 in February of '25. However, PSC has identified several factors that have increased the project complexity beyond the original scope. These factors include additional schema mapping, clarification, and discussion with Schneider Electric regarding Fiber Manager 11 upgrade. Consequently, PSC has had to re-engineer and validate a new migration process to meet the requirements of the FM11 platform. Currently, the telecom department uses ARC FM10, which is on the ArcMap platform, and Esri is going to discontinue that in March of '26. So all users will need to transition to the new ARC Pro software. We're expected to have this completed in January.
Okay. I would like to let the record reflect that that we're talking about Schneider Electric and not Snyder Electric. I have nothing to
Yes.
do with this company. I have no economic interest in it whatsoever. But we will be able to get everything done before the switchover changes.
Yes.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're getting pretty close.
Good.
Just
Okay.
trying to get the last pieces together.
Any questions?
Hey, John,
Yes.
you gonna get a brother who owns
No.
Schneider? Okay.
No, could spell the
Different
name
spelling.
completely. It's completely different. Completely different. That's the hard. That SCH is the hard German spelling. So, if not, I will entertain a motion to accept this change order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Without any further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Harvey Couch, consider approving the Hallmark agreement.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say for the record, Ed Sullivan is still not on. But, you know, I don't want to dwell on it, but it's just, you know, Sunday night's not the same.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Staff and the Cable Advisory Committee recommend approval of the Hallmark Agreement. This is an NCTC agreement with a term through September of 2028. No immediate rate increase. The annual increases begin on January 1st and are within our budgeted projections. This covers Hallmark Channel as well as Hallmark Movies and Hallmark Drama. Staff attorneys reviewed it, meets with his approval. I'm happy to answer any questions on this item.
Any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Need a second? Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries and the flow of Christmas movies continues unabated. Item 5.9, do I need to turn the chair over to the vice chair so you can shepherd this one through since it's so important to you?
Well, I mean, you know,
No,
it is Me TV. I mean, yeah.
Consider approval of the Wago Network's Me TV agreement. Harvey.
Thank you, sir. The Cable Advisory Committee and staff recommend the board approve this agreement. Again, it's an NCTC agreement with a term through September of 2028. If you recall, we previously carried this channel through our returns agreement with WLEX, but they dropped their affiliation back in 2022, and at that time we engaged directly with Weigel to carry this directly from them. There's no license fee associated with this channel, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on this item.
Any questions? No. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. It is no care. You know, it's no fee either.
No fee.
It's freebie.
Worth every penny.
Every penny is priceless.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. NBC Universal and Versant agreement.
Yeah,
Are we going to get NBC Sports back eventually or not? Looks that
what,
way.
Yeah, apparently they're bringing it back, dusting it off. Unfortunately, there is a fee associated with this agreement, but Comcast NBC Universal is spinning off some of their channels into this independent company called Versant, and that's why we got two different agreements covering all the channels that used to be covered by the Comcast NBC Universal agreement. But staff and the Cable Advisory Committee recommend approval of this agreement. Annual license fees for the Versant agreement average 1.5%, and those are lower than what was budgeted. The license fees for the NBC agreement reflect a slight reduction as well. There's no additional carriage or migration requirements. The only change is that we do have the option to move Golf Channel from classic cable to preferred cable in January of 2027, so that would reflect a savings to move it to a less penetrated tier. And again, even though these are two agreements, they're basically, if you want one, you need to have both. So they're presented to you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have on this.
Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve both agreements.
So moved.
Second.
A motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Thank you, Harvey.
I've got one more.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh, the broadband TV. I'm sorry. Item number 5.11, consider approving the broadband TV member participation agreement and 20 associated programming agreements for the Next Band Now service.
Thank you, sir. If you'll recall, you all established a rate for this Next Band Now service back in June. It's $20. It's going to have 50 channels. It'll be delivered over the internet through our existing Next Band Stream application. It is sort of a lifestyle, like more lifestyle type content. There's no broadcast TV. There's no mainstream sports channels, and that's how we're able to keep the cost low. This is done through the NCTC as far as the rights go. Again, back to where we're trying to offer more choice to our customers on video. We understand that the classic cable cost has gotten rather high, and so we think that this might be an option for some folks, and maybe they can combine it with some other services that they might pay for directly. But we think this is a good option for some people. So asking for you guys to approve the participation agreement with the NCTC and then these 20 agreements for the channels to be included in the package. Happy to answer any questions.
How will we make customers aware that this option's available for them?
Yeah, I mean, certainly as soon as we're targeting December 1st as a launch date, and so as soon as it's available, we'll start reaching out. I think certainly if anybody calls in to drop their service, this would be kind of a save option, you know, for our customer service folks to offer as an option. But yeah, certainly to our broadband only, the folks that have cut the cord maybe, or cord cutters or cord nevers is what they call them too, we'll reach out to those folks to let them know that this is a new option.
Just a practical question. This does cost something though to the plan board, this
Yes.
package.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just looking at the line up here, and I'm just wondering if that's really gonna be a loss item, because.
No, absolutely
I mean,
not.
I'm looking at the items offered and.
Yep. No, it is, I don't really, you know, I want to avoid getting to specific numbers, but I would say that the margin will be very similar to what our margin is today on our classic cable, which is not great, but it's certainly not upside down, for sure.
Right.
Yep.
Steve, are you questioning baby first?
We're not getting into specifics.
Okay.
I'm not getting into
Just making
specifics.
sure I
Don't talk about my favorite item in the
They can't all be Me TV, Steve. They can't all be Me TV. Any other questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the broadband TV member participation agreement.
I move we approve the broadband TV member participation agreement and the 20 associated program agreements for Next Band Now.
Second.
Any discussion at all? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, sir.
Item 512, consider memorandum of agreement with Franklin County Fiscal Court for dark fiber and dedicated internet access. Stephanie?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The Frankfurt Plant Board typically utilizes a standard contract format for all of our dark fiber and dedicated internet service agreements. In 2016, however, the Franklin County Fiscal Court requested an alternative contract, which at that time was approved by the board, and the board has also approved a renewal of said commitment in 2022. This commitment is now up for another term renewal, and on Wednesday, November 19th, the Fiscal Court will consider the proposed upgrade on a new 3-year contract. Staff asked the board for approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I assume fiscal court wants to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And essentially, are they getting more speed? Is it getting more money?
They've upgraded their speed, and then we've just included billing for an additional dark fiber
good
circuit that they have.
If there are
Any
no
other
other
questions?
I will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Next item is to go into a closed session. John?
I would like to request permission to call, for the chair to call a closed session pursuant to KRS 61.8101C to discuss pending litigation regarding a customer matter, administrative matter, and a contract matter.
And I will accept a second on that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're going into closed session. back to live. Mr. Cuban?
Do we, there was no action taken, no action needs to be taken, Mr. Chairman?
First, we need a meeting to come out.
Oh, yeah, we need I move that we come out of closed session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're back in open session. Now,
No action is needed, Mr. Chairman, based on our closed session.
okay, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. We'll see you next month.